Woman discovers something strange in the middle of the night. All the people in the community suddenly disappeared without a trace. She rushed out to look for everyone, but a horrible scene appeared behind her. All the neighbors had come to the woman's feet. Then they turned into a pool of black liquid and disappeared. At first, Daisy thought she had made a mistake. She continued to look for them. When she stepped into a pool, the surrounding houses suddenly shrank. It was as if she was a giant in this world. Just as Daisy was scared, the sound of a car's engine roared overhead. Thankfully, it was just a dream. But this strange phenomenon has happened more than once. A few days ago, Daisy accidentally entered her husband's studio. She found a model of a small town there. The model even had various figures, and the buildings were exactly the same as the town she lived in. At first, Daisy thought it was her husband's hobby. She planned to take a quick look, but when her eyes followed the model to the distant iron box, Daisy felt a bit eerie. What kind of item needs to be stored so carefully? Daisy quickly took out the iron box to check. She found some preserved old envelopes inside. At that moment, her husband suddenly returned home. Daisy had to put the box back. Originally, the matter ended there, but the next day, Daisy was preparing to sew her husband's pants. She accidentally found a note in her husband's pocket, and it was a love letter her husband wrote to a woman. Now Daisy was a bit upset. From then on, she started to have nightmares every day. She even thought the whole town was virtual. She could only find her longtime crush. However, when the colleague learned of the matter, he thought it was nonsense. Her husband, as the founder of the town, had a model, which was normal, and those notes might have been from many years ago. He wanted to advise Daisy not to suspect so much, but Daisy thought, if her husband did something, then she had reason to file for divorce. This way, she could be with her colleague. So from that day on, the two prepared to investigate her husband. Daisy followed her husband to the hotel, and the facts did not disappoint her. After some searching, she found a pair of handcuffs. Daisy quickly took photos as evidence. Then she put everything back in place. Finally, she took the train home as planned. The colleague was responsible for following her husband to catch him in the act. But on the train, Daisy suddenly remembered that her husband's town model also had a train. So she went back and found the model. She saw names written on the model with a magnifying glass. Daisy immediately started searching online. However, the names on the model were a family of 3. They had all disappeared without a trace 3 years ago. At this point, Daisy was getting more and more scared. She recalled that she had found a photo of a strange woman. She quickly took it out to compare with the model. Sure enough, the house behind the woman was the town model. Now Daisy finally understood. Her husband had carefully created the town, which were actually the homes of the women he had killed. Daisy couldn't believe her husband was a murderer. She immediately went to the town's material management room. She printed out the reports of disappearances over the years, but the final result shocked her. More than 230 people had disappeared without a trace in 5 years, and the agents couldn't find any leads. Daisy was panicking. She wanted to notify her colleague but couldn't contact him. Her colleague had already followed her husband to a remote house.